Well, everybody, just gonna do a bit of a vlog. I don't know if this is gonna be a weekly update or not, but it'll be a vlog. So this is probably a weekly update, because this is talking about the last week or so of my life, which has been a pretty turbulent one in a number of ways, which I will talk about. So at the beginning of this week, or rather the end of last week, so the beginning of the weekend before, the one that just ended, I received some unfortunate news, I guess. Let's see if we'll turn on. No, it won't. Anyway, this is my 17-inch MacBook Pro that I've had for a while now, and I've talked about this guy and I like it. It is pretty old, but do some mods with it, upgrade it a bit, and it is pretty decent, but I still had a mechanical hard drive in it. And one day I'm using it, and it slows to a halt, unusably so. And I restart it, and it's messed up, and I restart it again, and it's messed up, and just on and on. And I find out that my hard drive is failing. A number of programs have told me that, and it's quite obvious from the signs that I have that it is. Now I have backed up my data, but this still does not work, or rather it still has not been replaced. And I would like to do that, but with how money is, I don't know. It could be a couple months before I replace it, because I have more urgent things that I will be looking into. So 17-inch MacBook Pro is out of commission for now, and hopefully I don't break it trying to open it up. I shouldn't. From what I've found, it's not that hard of a job to fix one of these, but it is more involved than the later generations. Wow. I already forget what I was going to talk about. I have been working on the backup more. I've gotten more stuff backed up, which is good. And now we're going to talk about, maybe bring this guy up. But I'm going to talk about some other stuff first. Sorry about the loud noise of the heater. We're going to talk about some other stuff to start us off with. I'm getting a headache, which is nice. Just a way to top off this shit Sunday, right? So, let's see where my camera's at here. Don't need it to be that way. So, last weekend, I don't remember exact days or times here. Last weekend I was quite sick. Diarrhea. I've had some pretty bad problems with diarrhea for a while now that appear to be dietary related. But sometimes I indulge. I like to get fast food, but it doesn't do anything good for my stomach, especially when I eat a lot of it. Like if I get it a day and then the next day, then the next day, then I am wiped out with diarrhea. So that hit me pretty hard last weekend, and by the end of it, there is nothing solid in that. There is not even anything that looks different than water in that. So I struggled with that for a while, constantly having to get up and go to the bathroom, and it was just a big bitch. It was worse than some previous times, definitely. Probably one of the worst incidents I had with diarrhea. Then throughout the week I was mostly okay. Let me look at my calendar. I'm just trying to get an idea for Yeah, throughout the week. Monday, Tuesday were kind of rough. Kind of a holdover, I guess, from the weekend being sick. But Wednesday and Thursday weren't too bad. But then we get to Friday. And here's where my problems start. Oh, it feels like Friday was a long time ago. It has been a long weekend. It's Monday morning now. However, Friday, I ran out of food to make. And it would be a while until I could get access to food that I could make. So Monday afternoon, around 1 p.m., maybe a little earlier than that, I decided to get McDonald's, the takeout. That makes me shit so much. But I didn't have much of a choice, so I got that. Figured, hell, I can deal with it. I don't have anything to do today. If I have it for this evening, then whatever. So I ate that, and I did. I had diarrhea that evening. Not anything too bad, just normal. Went like 2 or 3 times in the night, and it wasn't or in the evening, and it wasn't too bad. Enough that it didn't really disrupt my night, but it wasn't pleasant either. Then I ate some grilled cheese for dinner. Or no, I didn't. I slept. I fell asleep at around 8, I think. I woke up at like 11:30. But I just kept going. For the betterment of my schedule, I just kept going. And one thing after another happens, and it's just like any other normal night, I suppose. And then I ate grilled cheese at around, I don't know, 2 a.m. or something like that, 1:30, 2 a.m. on Saturday morning. And that was that. Then I continue to do what I was doing. My night continues, and I'm just doing my thing. And I burp. This is getting on a completely other thing. I burp, which, whatever. But it doesn't taste right, not at all. You know, burp usually just tastes like whatever you eat, or nothing. But this, it tastes like I ate a lot of grain. Grain, that's what it tastes like, but it's stale. Stale, nasty grain. So I taste this and I'm like, I have had this exact same thing before a long time ago. So I was like, that's kind of interesting. I didn't think much of it though. So I went back to what I was doing, and I did what I was going to do. And once I was done with that, I got up and I did a couple small things. And I put the camera here and I made a video, which I'll probably end up redoing because I don't really like the way the video turned out. I made my video on 2021, but I'm probably going to redo it, so it'll still be a couple days probably. But I got done with that video and I was like, yeah, okay, I probably won't do another take of this. And then I went to the bathroom. I don't know if it was diarrhea at that time, but I just had to go to the bathroom, right? And I'm on the toilet. This is a different kind of video, I know. But I'm on the toilet, and I was, man, my stomach hurts. Am I hungry or something? It's like I didn't eat that long ago. So why am I hungry again? The longer I sit there, the more it hurts. So I'm just sitting there, and it's getting pretty bad by the time I'm done. I'm like, wow, this is really starting to get bad. To where it was hurting to sit down at all. And it hurt to wipe myself too. Just everything hurt in my stomach. Completely hurt. And now I'm starting to think back, well, shit. I made a video called, what was that video called, man? I'm not going to bother to look it up right now. But it was something like, it was a video that I made on July 9th of 2019. Called like PS3, or should I buy a tray, should I buy a PS3 thing? Which was a response to a video I made 3 years earlier that day, which is a great video. Good old times. But anyway, the day that I made that video, I woke up feeling like shit. Like, man, my stomach's killing me. But I got up out of bed after a while, and I did my thing, and I made that video, and I felt fine. And then it hit me. It hit me really damn hard that night. And I was hurting really bad. My stomach was hurting really bad, and I was going to the bathroom with bad diarrhea. I felt like I was nauseous the whole time, and I felt like I was going to throw up, but I didn't end up throwing up, which is good because I hadn't thrown up since like spring of 2015, which is incredible for somebody like me who was extremely sickly for so long. But I came close to throwing up that night, but I didn't. But the whole time, when I would burp, because I was burping a lot too, just something in my stomach, it tasted like grain, stale grain, same exact thing. So a little bit of foreshadowing that happened there, but I didn't think about that. I just kind of went about my thing. So I'm like, shit, maybe this is happening to me again. So I decided, you know what, man, I'm not going to stay up any longer. I'm going to sleep. Just so I can kill it off, hopefully. And by the time I fell asleep, actually, I was settled in and I didn't feel too bad. The pain had gone away. It's a Saturday morning, about 7 a.m. So I slept, and I woke up at like 3:30 or 4 or something like that, p.m. And it hurt. It fucking hurt, man. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Worse than it was the first time. So it was killing me. Just staying in bed, and it was killing me, and I was just laying there for a while. And it started to kind of ease out, so I was able to get up and go downstairs. However, I wasn't able to do anything. I ended up just laying on the couch. Because for some reason, apparently this was the way it was when I had it in July of 2019 as well. Laying on my couch was actually felt better than laying in my bed. So that's what I did. But there were points in that where it was so freaking painful. But then, after a huge uptick in pain when I was laying on the couch down there that was really bad, I decided it kind of calmed down, so I decided I'm going to come back up to my room and maybe try to do something. Then it hits me really hard, so I get in the bed, I can't even go downstairs. And this was the worst part of the pain. Unbelievably bad, to where I couldn't even sit still. It was bad. I mean, I can't really describe the pain that I was in, but it was not good. I could not sit still. I could not lay there. It hurt. At that point, man, I didn't know what the hell was going to happen. So I'm trying to lay down, but I can't get relaxed because it's hurting so much that I'm moving around because I can't help myself. Like, I literally could not help myself from moving because it hurt so bad. That was really bad. It calmed a little, so I decided to book it downstairs. I figured, hell with the bed. Maybe I'll calm down a bit more when I go down there. And it was still pretty fucking bad. And I'm getting nauseous. And it was still bad down there. It didn't get much better when I laid back down there. So it's just this big thing, and it calmed a little bit to where I could actually sit still, but it still hurt unbelievably bad, enough that I couldn't do anything. And every time I would get up, it would hurt. When I would go to the bathroom, because I went to the bathroom a couple times during this, sitting on the toilet hurt like hell. Not even going, just sitting down hurt. Walking hurt, everything hurt. But at one point, I started to feel really nauseous. And I was like, yeah, I felt nauseous last time. And I still hadn't thrown up to this point. So I'm like, damn, it's been 6 years since I last threw up. But it's probably not going to happen. But I figure, you know what, man, I'll just go in there, whatever. See if burping will clear it up. But it didn't. And I went into the bathroom. It wasn't very long, and I couldn't help myself from throwing up. Yeah, I made it 6 years. 6 years. Spring of 2015 to the end of January 2000, mid-end of January 2020. The things that happened in that time span, it's unbelievable how long I went. And I was so pissed. I was so pissed at that. I tried to hold it back when it started to come out. I was like, oh, no way in hell is this happening, but I could not stop myself by then. And the only thing I could say was, fuck. I was not happy. But that did help. It relieved the pain by a decent bit. Then it came back up, and I threw up again. That eased the pain. And then I went and laid down, and then it got really bad again. So I went and I made myself throw up. If it at least eases it, because it was getting really bad again. So if the throwing up helps it, I'm going to do that. And I did. So I threw up like 3 times. After that last time, it trailed out. The pain in my stomach trailed out, which is excellent. So that slowly went away, and then all was good with that part. But I still felt quite nauseous, and I still had horrible diarrhea going into Saturday night. So I was able to come up here and sit at the computer and look at some stuff and read some stuff, watch a couple of videos. Mostly okay. I still felt a little weak. I was able to eat a bit of pizza. And seemed like things were going pretty well. And then the diarrhea just hit hard again. And so I spent hours and hours, and this is like about 11 p.m., 10:30, 11 p.m. that the diarrhea started to hit. Maybe a little earlier than that. And so I spent quite a while in the bathroom. And like I said, nothing's solid here. This is not solid at all. But it was really, really bad. And that was how I stayed, because I just kept going and kept going and kept going. So I basically just stayed on the toilet for about 6.5 hours. 6.5 hours. It was 6:30 when I got off the toilet. And I hadn't eaten much. I had eaten like 4 slices of pizza since I had the grilled cheese in the morning. So 24 hours I had only eaten the pizza. But I couldn't make myself throw up. I felt nauseous through the whole thing, but I couldn't make myself throw up as hard as I tried. So 6.5 hours on the toilet. And I came back into bed. And I tried to fall asleep, and I eventually did fall asleep. After having to get up and go again multiple times. So I fell asleep at about 7:30. And I woke up at like 10:30, maybe 11:30, something like that, on Sunday morning. I had to go again. And then I was there for a while too. And then I tried to lay back down, but it hurt really fucking bad. So I had to keep on getting up and go, come back, try to fall asleep, get up and go, and then eventually I did fall back asleep. And I woke up at like 8 p.m. Sunday night, and now it's 5:30 a.m. on Monday morning, and I'm still up. I've had diarrhea all day again, but it doesn't feel as bad. Turn this off. It doesn't feel as bad by now as it did last night. But I'm still going. And with all this wiping, my ass is pretty painful. I'm dry. And I was bleeding a little bit because my skin was so dry. Apparently, I got a little crack in my skin. I started bleeding, which is really cool. But luckily, it didn't seem to bleed too bad. It was just a little bit. Just from wiping so much, it just got dried out and bled. I wasn't like shitting out blood or anything. So I'm here, and I've had to go a couple times, but it's trailing out now. I really think it is trailing out now, finally. I'm getting a headache though. I'm not entirely sure why, but my old typical headache. But I'm really hoping that this shit is over, because it's been 6.5 hours I spent on the goddamn toilet. After laying in pain for like 4 hours earlier in the day and having like 2 hours respite. So, that was my weekend. That was my weekend. And it's Monday morning now. And I'm starting to feel better. Although it's not completely gone. And now I'm not going to eat McDonald's for a long, long time. No takeout, man. No takeout, no anything like that. No more. Because this is just, it's been hell. It's been really bad. I can't describe really the pain. It's hard to describe pain unless you felt exactly the same thing. But it was unbelievably bad. And that's what I went through. Look at the camera. Battery. But anyway, that was my weekend. Now today, later today, I should be receiving a package in the mail. And this is my last video, my last public video. The one that I put up, the camera crisis. I put up another video that I'm probably going to schedule to go up. That is about my iMac here, the hard drive in it. So that will probably go up soon. But the last video that I have that's actually up is that camera crisis one. And I talked about getting a flip. And I got a flip. I think I said so in the description of the video. So I ordered a flip of the same model as my original. I'm supposed to get it this morning. Or just, I guess, today. But we'll see what that's like. I don't know if it's going to be extremely sticky, because if it is, then I'm not going to deal with it. So yeah, we'll see, because this is the last time I'm going to try it. I'm not going to order another one of these things if it doesn't work out this time. So this is the last chance that I have to get back to flip. Because that yellow one, it's just so simple to use, but it bugs me so much how quiet that thing is. It's unbelievable. So we're going to see what that's like today. I'll throw up a test video today or tomorrow with it. And that's if I even get to that point. Because if it's sticky enough, I'll know. I'll try to clean it, but it probably won't fix it. Because like I said, I ordered another one of it. I had another one in September of 2019, but it was too sticky to be usable. Completely ruined it. I had it all taped up. And it just didn't work. So that was a failure. My iMac's in decline. Here, my 2010 iMac, which, I mean, this has been I spent $50 on this computer in July of 2019. And I got my money's worth out of it, most certainly. But it is getting pretty bad. My speakers are pretty blown out. Very crackly speakers. They are not getting any better, definitely. So that's not fun. Internal hard drive has failed. I was able to wipe it after a lot of nightmares of trying to do so, because a lot of the partitions on it were corrupted, and when it would try to mount them, it would destroy the computer completely. Like Finder wouldn't even start up anymore. Disk utility was unusable. Couldn't even open the app anymore because it would freeze it. But I think I've resolved that. The hard drive is still quite noisy in it, even that I'm not using it. And my external solution is flawed. Because when I sleep the computer, it kills it. It doesn't come back when the computer wakes up. So I gotta restart the computer if it sleeps. Even though I've checked the setting or rather, I unchecked the setting for the put hard disks to sleep when possible. And I've done other things, but it never works. Like every time the computer sleeps, and I don't want to leave the computer. I can't leave the, well, I guess it doesn't matter as much now. I could probably leave the computer just on, but I don't want to leave it on like that. I don't want to have it running, because I put the screen off when I sleep, because it is a pretty bright screen, so I put the screen off like that when I sleep. And it goes to sleep. So when I come back to it in the morning, it's paralyzed. If I go downstairs or go anywhere, it's paralyzed. And there are times when I have to get up. The computer goes to sleep. And I'm not just going to leave it running, because it does have image retention. So it's just going to burn my shit into it even more than it already has. Like my dock is pretty much retained in there permanently. I can't get it to come out. So that's not any good. And it's been running a lot hotter recently too. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, it's getting at the point where that solution is not working as well as I hoped it would. So I might break down. I'll talk a little bit more about this in an upcoming video. I might break down and get a new computer if finances allow it. As in get a newer used computer or a better used computer. But it'll all depend on money. So yeah, I'll talk about that in another video. But I might just break down and do it. Probably another desktop. Probably a 27-inch iMac is coming. The one is coming, I know that much. I'm going to get a 27-inch iMac. Of what year, I'm not exactly sure yet, but I'm going to get one. This year, probably. I don't see that not happening unless I die. Or some other catastrophic event. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen, even though I've been getting pretty pissed off at Macs, man. I've had a lot of problems this month with Mac stuff, so it's like, god damn. But I'm going to try this one. If this machine fucks up, then maybe I'll just say screw it and be done with the whole thing, but my Windows PC is pretty crippled in a lot of ways too. So not much better there. I'm starting to feel nauseous again, which is cool. I think it might be more due to my headache though. So yeah, computer. Also, I know my hair is all messy and I haven't showered because of all this sickness. No way. I'm probably going to try to later today. So yeah. The headache is definitely coming on. But this computer, it's been a pretty good unit overall. Obviously the hard drive failed less than a year later. A day more than 11 months later. And it's so weird because I was using the computer. There were things that happened throughout the time that I had the original hard drive that were weird that I noticed. And I was like, is that a sign of a failing hard drive? Now, I don't know. I don't know because I can't obviously look back to see the stuff, but I don't know if what I saw was due to macOS glitches, the software I was using glitches, or if it was actually hard drive failure. Because it was very weird stuff, right? But yeah, so that happened just out of nowhere. You know, a couple